Hi, I'm Annie Georgia Greenberg, and lately, I think like many people, I've been feeling lonely. I have nothing. Did I ever tell you about that time at summer camp? I scraped my knee. You scraped your knee jumping down from the rafters. What about that awful first date? It was pouring rain and the guy shows up. I know. Okay, what about 2002? My bat mitzvah. I was there. Damn. I think I'm getting sick of myself. Maybe it's time you try talking to somebody other than yourself. Like who?
Hi, my name is Lisa Genka. I am an assistant professor at the University of Delaware, and my research program for about the last 10 years has focused on understanding the negative health consequences of loneliness.
I'm so happy to have your ear because I'm starting to feel like I might be lonely.
Well, so I'm really glad that you were willing to say that, and it's certainly something that is often difficult for people to admit, but I think it's really important to recognize that because the only way that we can proactively help ourselves is to recognize when we are feeling that way. And that's something that you want to take really seriously because loneliness isn't just a feeling. Loneliness can have really significant impacts on your health. We know, for example, from research that people who are feeling lonely can have more cognitive problems, they experience more depression, they experience more pain and fatigue, they actually experience more cold symptoms when they are infected with the common cold virus.
So my loneliness could kill me.
Well, there actually is research showing that people who experience loneliness do die younger. One of the ways that we think that feeling lonely can actually affect our physical health is by affecting our immune system. And I think that's really important during this pandemic because our immune system is what keeps us healthy. Our immune system is what would help us fight off the coronavirus if we were infected with it.
What are some ways to combat loneliness when I can't necessarily leave my house?
So there are two main categories of ways that we can maintain that sense of connection. On the one hand, we have engaged forms. Those are really direct ways to establish connections with other people, talking to people, calling them, etc. We also have more disengaged forms, and those are often driven by something that we call social surrogates, and those are non-human things that can take the place of our human interactions, like pets or favorite TV characters.
I needed a doctor's opinion on what my kind of digital connective behaviors should be at a time like this.
So I recommend trying to mimic the types of social interactions and the types of behaviors that you were doing before the pandemic as well. So, if you were someone who worked in an office all the time, why not try to mirror that now and Zoom people in while you're working? Or if you were someone who went out for drinks often with your friends, why not try to mirror that as well and do a Zoom party where you're all having a glass of wine? I think if we are not proactive as a society to prevent people from feeling lonely during this pandemic, that once the pandemic is over, we're going to have another crisis on our hands.
Ay caramba. We gotta do something about this. You heard the lady. You gotta take loneliness seriously because a recent study showed that zero contact can be as dangerous as smoking up to 15 cigarettes a day. Gross. Yeah, but where do I start? Okay, let's recreate my day from before quarantine. Hey, Corey, it's me, Annie from the coffee shop.
Yeah, hi.
So I'm doing this thing where I'm recreating my day from before quarantine, and I was wondering if you wouldn't mind just saying my order.
Just like say it.
Yeah, just to have that same routine of us.
Sure. Grande sugar-free latte with soy milk. For Annie.
Got it right here.
See you tomorrow.
Next up, I commute in on the subway.
Yeah, I worked for the MTA.
Okay, great. So can you say it?
Stand clear of the closing doors.
No, say it like the real thing, like you mean it.
Stand clear of the closing doors. This is Manhattan bound 2 train. Next stop, Grand Army Plaza. Stand clear of the closing doors.
Perfect. Next up, the office, which I'm recreating by FaceTiming my two desk mates, Connie,
Annie,
and Diana. Hey guys!
Hi.
So, you want us to just...
Be there.
Like in the office?
Exactly. Just ignore me like you usually do.
Okay, I can do that.
Ignore you happily.
In our daily lives, we're used to lots of passive interactions, and studies show that being in the presence of others, even if we're not interacting much, can actually be really meaningful. So FaceTime your friends and leave it up and running while you're doing daily activities like cooking, cleaning, or working.
Annie, can you mute yourself? Or your other self?
Oh yeah, sorry. Anyways, there are lots of ways to battle loneliness, even by yourself. Eating comfort foods with strong emotional memories can help us feel more connected to others. Mine's mac and cheese. I see that. And watching our favorite TV shows or reading our favorite books can provide an experience of belonging and connection. Mine's Sex and the City.
On the 40th day of quarantine, I didn't feel like I was living, sitting in my living room. And I couldn't help but wonder, have we all just been wearing face masks all along?
Reel it in, Carrie. This isn't all about you. In fact, a 2020 survey showed that nearly 1/3 of adults over the age of 45 were lonely even before Corona, and that number goes up as the ages increase. Well, now I just feel silly. So why don't you try reaching out to somebody in that demographic? Okay, I'll call my 86-year-old grandma. Good. Hi, Grandma, it's Annie.
Oh, hi, Annie. Annie, we're just watching you. I think it's terrific. They should put this on TV. Are they going to put it on TV?
I don't know if they're gonna put it on TV, but I appreciate you watching. How are you feeling? You know, because sometimes I feel lonely, and I know that you're by yourself a lot, and I wanted to know if you were feeling lonely or
isn't that
wanted to
nice?
talk.
I don't feel great, but I'm not depressed or anything. I go along with the flow. And thank you for calling me to see how I'm feeling. Whoever you have to talk to, just say your grandmother is definitely liking this, and it should be on TV where everyone can see it.
Well, that was cute, and a good reminder that we should all be reaching out to somebody every day that we think might be lonely. A good place to start is self-disclosing. This week I learned that just because we're socially distanced doesn't mean we have to be socially isolated, and there are lots of easy ways to stay connected. As always, I'm ending this video with 5 acts of kindness that I've done on one day.
Thanking our postal workers with some yummy treats, donating to a food bank, carrying a big box upstairs for a neighbor, writing a letter of gratitude to a friend, and writing a happy message on the sidewalk.
Comment below on how you're giving back. I could really use the inspiration and ideas to feel less miserable during this global pandemic. Finally, I have the go-ahead from a doctor.
Got the go-ahead.
Eating junk food and watching television. Doctor's orders.
Doctor's orders. Eat the comfort food and watch all that TV. Now is the time to take advantage of that.
Click here to see more videos like this, and here to subscribe to Refinery29's YouTube channel. No better way to pass the time.